During the Eid holiday in September 2009, we went on safari in Tanzania. We took a plane from our then place of residence Abu Dhabi and had a 4-hour stopover in Nairobi, Kenya, before continuing to Arusha. The third day of our safari begins with an early morning balloon flight over the Serengeti.
My name is Nick. I'm going to be your pilot this morning. This is our balloon. She is called Tembo, which is Swahili of course for elephant. She's named after a big animal. She's a big balloon, 425,000 cubic feet in volume, and once you guys are on board and she's ready to take off, she weighs about 2.5 tons. So she is a big aircraft, one of the bigger balloons flying in the world today, certainly the biggest in sub-Saharan Africa.
Preparing the balloon for takeoff is a careful undertaking. During this process, the balloon is most susceptible to fire. A petrol engine driven fan is used to inflate the balloon and to create an opening large enough for the burners to be deployed without setting fire to the balloon. And off we were, with the second balloon getting upright, ready for takeoff as well.
Search Land Rover. Okay. And there's the cheetah.
A huge herd of Cape buffalo. The core of the herd is made up of related females and their offspring. During the dry season, males split from the herd and form bachelor groups, the so-called grumpy old boys. After a successful landing, we assembled for the traditional glass of champagne and breakfast.
It was the brothers Montgolfier who invented hot air balloons. Quite by accident, they used to watch bits of paper go up with smoke from the fire, and they thought that if they caught this smoke, they'd be able to lift something off the ground. And sure enough, it did lift paper bags that they filled up with smoke. And so from there, they decided to fly passengers, and the plan was to launch that from the centre of Paris with men on board. And they decided the first passengers would be prisoners, because there were plenty in the Bastille. It didn't matter if they killed a few, because there were plenty more in the prison. And if they didn't kill them, then they could go free. The king could pardon them. And the king said, well, no, this is not a good idea, because then we send French villains into history as French heroes. And we don't want to do that, so think again. So they thought again, they thought, well, what's the next best thing? Aristocracy, that's what we'll do. And they got two guys to fly, Pilato de Rosière and Marquis d'Orléans.
Thank you very much.
In the field kitchen, they had prepared our brunch. The food was excellent, with more champagne and very friendly service. Transport to take us back to the lodge was already waiting. At the lodge, this warthog welcomed us. There were more animals, like these hyraxes, the closest living relative on land to the elephant. The elephant, hyrax and manatee all descend from a common ancestor. It was time to move on. Marco had already prepared the Land Rover for the game drive for the second half of the day. The elegant Thompson gazelle with the characteristic black stripe on its flanks. The Grand Gazelle is a bit bigger and is missing the stripes. It has a white bum instead. What are they staring at? Aha, a sleeping leopard, one of the big five. A secretary bird spends his days preying on lizards, hares, mongoose and snakes on the ground. They only resort to trees to roost and to raise their chicks. The impala is found in woodlands and on the interface between woodlands and savanna, and are important prey for large carnivores. We came across a large herd of Cape buffalo. Buffalo have a poor eyesight but an amazing sense of smell. The females with their offspring and the young bulls hiding for the afternoon sun. A lonely old bachelor grazing nearby. Yellow-billed oxpeckers graze exclusively on the body of large mammals. They feed on insects, ticks and other parasites, and the flesh and blood of some wounds as well. Oxpeckers also feed on the earwax and dandruff of their host. The guinea fowl is native to Africa, but has been widely domesticated worldwide. Hippopotamus comes from the ancient Greek for river horse and is the third largest land mammal after the elephant and the rhinoceros. The younger hippos have to push themselves into the small pools. The hippo is extremely aggressive, but even they sometimes end up on somebody's dinner plate. A warthog family foraging for bulbs and roots, their main food in the dry season. Their diet varies with the seasons. Warthogs are surprisingly fast, and although capable of putting up a fight, their main defense is a fast sprint with tails up to warn others. The Serengeti holds the largest lion population in Africa. They spend between 16 and 20 hours each day resting and sleeping. The hartebeest is an antelope and live in small herds. They are calm in nature and remarkably alert and cautious animals. Hartebeests are the least migratory, consume the least amount of water, and have the lowest metabolic rate of all antelopes. The vistas over the savanna are simply stunning. The large and powerful marabou stork is often seen feeding with vultures on dead animals, but will opportunistically eat almost any animal matter it can swallow. The marabou stork breeds in colonies and, like most storks, build a tree nest. The African fish eagle may resemble the American bald eagle in appearance, but each species occurs on different continents. The Serengeti Plain is punctuated by granite outcroppings known as kopjes. They are the result of volcanic activity. Kopjes provide their own microhabitat. Lions have few sweat glands, so they wisely are more active during the night when it is cooler. The Kori bustard is a ground-dwelling bird and an opportunistic omnivore. It is the heaviest living animal capable of flight. Their nest is a shallow hollow in the earth, and the female does all the brooding without male help. The Maasai ostrich is one of the 4 subspecies of ostrich that are native to Africa. A lone male waterbuck. They are chased out of the herd by the dominant male as soon as they start developing horns. Waterbuck cannot tolerate dehydration in the hot weather and thus inhabits areas close to water. They often enter water to escape from predators. This was our second leopard for the day. Leopards inhabit a wide range of habitats and sometimes enter human settlements for prey, more so than lions or tigers in India. Dik-diks are small antelope, and the name comes from the repetitive dik sound, Females make when threatened. Dik-diks are monogamous and live in pairs. The female gives birth to a single offspring twice per year, at the start and finish of the rainy season. The Nile crocodile is present in 26 African countries, but contradictory to the name, it is no longer present in the Nile Delta. With up to 6 meters in length and up to 1000 kg, it is the world's second largest reptile after the Australian saltwater croc. There are 5 species of baboon, with each species native to one of 5 areas in Africa. This is the olive baboon, and the name is derived from its coat color. This species is the most wide-ranging from all baboons and have existed for at least 2 million years. We were extremely lucky to have spotted 3 leopards in one day. Baboons, by the way, are difficult prey for leopards. Large males with their large canines will often confront the predator. The blue wildebeest or gnu often graze in mixed herds with zebra, which gives heightened awareness of predators. The blue wildebeest is the most abundant big game species. Some, but not all populations, perform the annual migration to new grazing grounds. Wildebeest, as well as cattle, goats and sheep, belong to the same antelope subspecies. The dazzling stripes of the zebra make them among the most recognizable mammals. It is thought that the stripes are a form of protection from biting flies, like the tsetse fly. Zebras are grazers and can subsist on low-quality vegetation. They are preyed on mainly by lions. Zebras have a distinctive high-pitched call. Squealing is usually made when in pain, but bachelors also squeal while play fighting. At the far end in this shot, you see vultures feeding on a buffalo carcass. At sunset, we were headed for these granite outcrops, where our lodge for the night was tastefully integrated into the landscape.
Let's go!
From the terrace, with swimming pool, we had a wonderful view over the Serengeti sunset, with enough to see to keep the camera clicking. An old male buffalo taking a mud bath to protect his skin against ticks and other insects. The baboons retreat from the flatlands to the kopjes for better protection against nightly lion attacks. 2 young buffalo bulls are settling their play fight for the night. We were in Tanzania at the end of the dry season. Sporadic rain showers were a sign of more to come. We retreated from the rain in the cozy restaurant for a wonderful dinner and a well-deserved beer.